Can I start off by talking about the book I wrote?
What, as in after the intro? What do you mean?
I haven't written a book. We're good.
You can do whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it. Now's your time. It's your time to shine.
Now, one other thing to point out, Karl.
Yeah.
Every so often, you penetrate.
Oh, Karl.
The
Every so often I penetrate. Not always.
your
Just
your
every so
elbow or
often.
something comes into field. What?
Oh, my penetration with my eslimble.
Now, I don't know if that's what you want or not. But
No, it's cool, yeah. Okay then. And then
That was such a good way. Karl, every so often you're penetrating a limb into the... Very technical term. I love that.
it's good.
It's
I
really
feel like
helpful.
I'm
Can we
penetrating
keep
without the
that in?
physical.
So I can see your shoulder.
Can Kevin be a part of every podcast?
Babe, that's
This is
it.
what-
The
this is
podcast
what
is
Kevin-
just like...
It's crucial that he's a part of every podcast that I'm ever in, with the commentary. It's
for like
the
an
best.
hour.
Yeah.
I mean, how long have we got left?
Everyone's... But your nose is penetrating the microphone.
Oh, that's better. Actually, it's better when you
Is
come
it?
forward. Yeah. Like, yeah, take control.
Oh, take control. Normally I
Yeah.
need to be closer to the mic.
Oh, that's good.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay,
That's good.
so are we starting? Have we recorded?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So, welcome to You May Be Entitled to Compensation, a satirical podcast that dryly delves into the concept of entitlement, exploring both everyday irritations and larger issues for which we feel we should be entitled to compensation for. Whether it be an ex-boyfriend, a fridge, or a fraud, artist Bert Gilbert and today's special guest artist Karl Allen hope to shed some light and enact some verbal revenge on the absurdity and outrage of modern-day grievances that we often don't get a chance to heal or resolve. Now, this has taken a while, this podcast, to come to light, since the first time I tried to record it, all of the footage got lost.
Conveniently.
Well, probably conveniently. Then the second time, well, I spent 2 weeks editing, but the co-host is now currently part of a compensation claim. So this is now
I love a co-host.
the third recording, which is this one. I've got the delightful Karl Allen to...
Babe, yeah, and this episode's going to be called...
What, you may be entitled to more compensation than you thought.
Trouble with co-hosts. Yeah.
Also trouble with co-hosts.
Yeah, my friend had all of her podcasts deleted by her co-host. Like years of them.
Wow.
But they just had an argument. And she felt like she wasn't being spoken to properly. So rather than like speak together about, okay, how do we improve this? She deleted all the podcasts.
That's...
Yeah, they had a joint YouTube.
Whoa.
They had a joint everything. And she probably had a few joints on top of the joints.
Or a lot of joints.
Yeah.
But
So,
I mean,
yeah, fucked.
how much did she's definitely entitled to some compensation?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, we could go through co-host hell.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, the co-host that I had, who shall remain nameless, stayed in my flat and decided...
You need to get closer.
Well, stayed in my flat while I was away and decided, whilst I was away, to essentially do some redesign in there, but on quite an extreme level.
So she like moved a sofa, moved a chair.
Oh, more like threw a whole fridge freezer out with all of its belongings and replaced it with like a sort of smaller minibar version. So when I got home, I was like,
Do things look smaller?
I mean, I was like, why is my fridge freezer gone? It was just not a thought. It was not something that I thought I was going to have to deal with when I'd only been away for 3 days. I'd gone on a gong mastery course, which is another thing to discuss. I'm sure I'm entitled to get some compensation for that as well, but we can discuss that another day. But when I came home, I essentially walked into... She'd rearranged all of my spices, all of my teas, relabeled them, thrown half away, threw the entire contents of the fridge freezer away. Even like a kefir mother that I'd had for I know it sounds like a wanker, but you know, I make kefir.
What's a kefir, mother?
Well, you make kefir out of it. It's like a sourdough
Like
starter. Anyway, but she threw that out.
Imagine I'm from Croydon. What's a kefir?
it's a fermented thing.
Yeah.
But
like bread.
Not like
bread.
No, like it's fermented.
Oh, like kefir. Oh, sorry, you should have said.
Yogurt. It makes
Yogurt.
yogurt.
Oh.
Anyway, the point is that not only that is that she'd gone into my wardrobe, rearranged my entire wardrobe, gone into my chest of drawers, rolled up, changed the order of everything, rolled everything up, did the whole thing chromatically, which, sure, that's great if you live like that, but I do not live in a chromatic way. And also, the order didn't make sense either. So I couldn't find a pair of jogging bottoms, and I essentially found them on the shoe shelf, rolled up next to a pillowcase and some silk blouses. So if this person had decided to impart some order into my life, I don't know what order that is. I mean, also to the extent of going through my underwear drawer and also finding a box of sex toys, putting them on a shelf with a pair of boots, with a pair of reading glasses inside the box and a pair of boots on top.
She'd been through your sex toys?
Well, I don't know if she'd been through them, but she'd definitely ordered them into her system.
Oh my God, that's so good. What's her system?
The system is apparently a pair of
Sticky,
boots.
not sticky.
But
All of mine are in the sticky.
But not only that is that she'd also hired a masseuse that had knocked the radiator off the wall, flooded the flat, used every white towel which had yellow stains all over them, and there was no hot water or heating. Then what then happened after that is that essentially I was like, I went into physical shock because I couldn't find.
So let's start. No, because you're not even there. You walk in.
What?
So you walk in.
I walk in. Not
on your own.
Appears,
is she there or not there?
Not there. Everything appears as normal until I see that there's a completely new fridge freezer
with a big gap round it.
Yeah, with an arrangement on top, and then all the labels in all the spices, like thrown out loads of stuff.
Was there a pre-warning? Did she like, oh, you're coming home today? Let me just ignore my.
Well, she'd said, oh, there's been a little bit of a drama. And then told me about the radiator and the masseuse, but she'd solved that drama, and she's like, oh, there's an emergency plumber coming on the next day. So I was quite calm about that, and then she said, but there is a surprise in the flat for you.
Ooh, what were you thinking?
Well, I thought like a pot plant and a candle. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I was
like, oh, she's left a masseuse.
What? Oh, all that would have been.
That would have been a really good surprise.
But not that there would have been like this complete rearrangement and reordering. I mean, I think what was most insulting about it is it's if like I needed that order brought in, but somebody else's order that doesn't make sense.
How long was she there for?
3 days.
Fuck off. I thought you were about to tell me this was the end of her tenancy.
No, she was literally there. She'd stayed the weekend. We'd recorded a podcast, and she then had a booking with her house on Kindred. So I said, oh, well, I'm not going to be here. You're welcome to stay here. So in 3 days, the amount of work that was done was insane. Like, it was clearly a manic episode. And it wasn't until I went down to the bins at like 2 a.m. and started looking at what she'd actually done. She'd thrown like 50 coat hangers away, belts, artwork I'd made, all of the like condiments that I had, things that are like preserves. That the general term of preserve is that they're preserved. What I saw when I opened the bin bags was mania. You know what I mean?
But damaged mania? Did she chuck them out because they're now water damaged? They've been masseused to death.
No, not water damage. Just stuff that
fucked.
She just like she had 2 cupboards full of various bits and bobs of kitchen utilities, glass that I was reusing, and all of that was gone. But like with ceramics that I'd made and things, and then strewn among all. When I opened the bags, what I could feel was the mania of it.
Yeah. See, I've never seen your ceramics, so I don't even know if there's shit.
Oh, but
no, because when Kevin looks at a lot of my stuff, he's like, "Is this the bin, honey?"
Yeah, but
I'm like,
I
spent like 6 months on that.
That's your partner that you live together.
Yeah.
You don't go.
But he can't tell the difference between my art and my shit.
I mean, do you think you need compensation for that?
I fully need compensation. I had a similar situation to this, where I was doing my very first film. I was in charge of the set, did the entire set. We filmed for the whole day. Absolutely amazing. It was supposed to be a crackhead's flat. So, probably similar to yours. I'd put ashtray everywhere, ashtrays on the floor.
What do you mean, similar to my house? How dare you?
I'm seeing how far I can get with that one. So I had really cracked this flat up. It was an ex-council flat, so they didn't need much cracking. But I brought in some old memorabilia from down Old Kent Road and shit. Just really went to town. Shit old. I even pooed in the toilet, but I needed it there because I wanted everything to be like real. Because I wanted to surprise the actor when the actor walked in, opens the toilet, and goes, "What the fuck?" So it was all set. Kevin
Tidied it all up.
Day 2. I turned up day 2 on set, like 9 a.m. Walked in, flat's empty.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean...
That's slightly... But I do think... I think we're both entitled to some compensation for that one. And you weren't even there.
I wasn't even... Well, you weren't even there.
Yeah.
So what did you have to do? Do another shit in the toilet?
He had to go down. Yeah, I did have to do a similar shit.
Was it
A
continuity?
less dewy one, yeah. Because the other one actually... It's good that he flushed that one, actually, because it had started to, like... dissolve. Yeah, decompose in the water.
What film was it?
Hey Trixie. Yeah, Trixie.
Oh, okay.
My first one with Trixie.
Did Kevin get it in the ear for
What
that?
did you get? No, I try not to be, because the problem is Kevin's very forgetful and he has lots of accidents and he falls over a lot. He smashes things, he drops things deliberately, and some stuff he's not even there. He'll just walk over and drop something.
Are you trying to do like a prologue to you getting complete control over him?
I
Is this
want,
this
yeah.
over the air. Like,
I'm trying to get more
Kevin.
compensation. I'm trying to up my
I need to be in
claim.
charge of Kevin.
So as part of my claim, I also want to claim for... yeah, he's so clumsy, which means, like, you can't be angry, because that is the worst thing to be to someone that's clumsy. You just can't be, because it will send them off and it's not really their fault. So I smiled. I went, honey, where did you put the set?
Well, I mean...
He's like, what do you mean? I was like, that was the set. So where is it now? He's like,
luckily,
it's in the bin.
It's all in the bin.
Yeah, council bins. They don't empty them that often.
Did you go through the bins?
Went straight downstairs,
See,
brought all the black bags up,
but-
and then cracked up the flat. Yeah.
Well, I mean, being in a bin store at like 3 a.m. trying to find belongings is not what anybody wants to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But however, so to get to this point, I think there is a lot of compensation that I've just had to let go of.
I think there's a lot due. But is there like communication open now where you can get your...
No, because immediately she blocked me and made me deal with her PA from then on. Like, so I got blocked.
We need PAs, babe.
We do.
Yeah.
We do need PAs.
There needs to be a PA between me and this one here.
Would you like me to be your PA?
That's actually why I brought you in today. It was actually why I brought you into your podcast today.
Well, I mean,
to ask you to sort me out a PA.
What we wanted to talk about was what you feel you may be entitled to compensation for on friends that have stayed in your house front.
Cool. So these are generally directionals.
What, so I have to be directional?
Oh, yes. So you've got to be there.
I'm having an issue with my microphone.
This is like your best friend.
It is quite phallic though, and it just sort of in my face. So I'm trying to avoid them.
Do you want to swap to a square cock?
No, I just don't know if it's fine.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's so weird. It literally has to become your best friend.
I've got it. It's not quite my best friend yet.
Wow, too friendly.
Do I need to have headphones
No,
out?
you're good.
Yeah, so today's episode is obviously the conversation that you'll never get off friends. So has anyone ever stayed in your house? We've had Kevin mess your set up.
I used to have really big parties at Kevin's house years ago when I was on like full cokehead party mode, like completely wasted every night. We used to have parties. We would go to sleep like 3 a.m. Kevin used to have a jacuzzi in the garden. I woke up once, I'm not going to say who, was fucking inside the jacuzzi.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's... I mean, you'd have to disinfect that then.
Yeah, not so
Or did
much.
you just go in and enjoy it?
Yeah. I was just like that. Kevin, get out of the jacuzzi. No.
Who?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to
No,
know who
I
it
can't.
was?
We can't do name and shame.
Oh no, there's
yeah.
no name and shame on here.
Yeah.
No, this is a pure. There is.
This is all about
just-
my compensation.
just
It's about my
general.
grief. It's how I'm left with the image of my friends being fucked out of my jacuzzi.
That is not.
Yeah.
I think
They were cute though. The couple was super cute. Like
you should have
super
filmed
fit,
it and got some
super
extra
everything.
content for it.
Yeah. This was a long time ago. I think
When there
this
was no
is
content.
yeah. Before mobiles. No, this was maybe 10 years. 10 years ago. Yeah. So that's like some. I don't think anyone's really. Do you do this? If you go around someone's house, and there's an opportunity to like fuck on their sofa, would you do it?
No, it's not one of my. No.
No, it's not
I
like
mean,
a.
Probably because I haven't had sex in about 97 years. So that would be the first. It would be like who?
Whenever we have people
But,
staying
like,
over, I'm like,
what-
Kevin, don't go in the front room. He's like, why
But
not?
what-
I'm like,
is that a
I think
thing?
they're finishing off.
But it's all right. Well, maybe that's gay
Yeah.
world scenario.
No, not both of them straight. Yeah.
I've no, there's maybe all your friends have that kink,
I think
or
they've got-
maybe
yeah.
your sofa is a sex sofa that.
It's a big sofa. You can see it's a bit of a.
Yeah, well, it
it's
is,
a bit
but-
of a banger.
But I wouldn't necessarily imagine that. I didn't come in and think, well, I want to have sex on that sofa. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no. But maybe that I'm the problem, or maybe I'm
If
just
you
a
were
better
on that
house guest than others because I don't think
Maybe
that you
you've
should
been
have.
trained.
You don't think you need to have sex on other
Yeah.
people's sofa?
Yeah, I
used
mean,
to
I
have a
wouldn't go and shit
boyfriend-
on someone's floor.
Exactly.
We would ever fuck.
No, but it's a bit off. I mean,
Ex-boyfriend go.
what? No, I had an ex-boyfriend that used to just like to be he was a comedian, which it's not funny to go out with a comedian. It really isn't. Like, not when they're dancing around a forest and you're paying the gas bill. Do you know what I mean? They're covered in glitter, which is the herpes of the craft world, and nobody wants to ever have glitter on or near their vagina. But I used to come home and he'd be naked on a silk sofa, and I was like, no, don't sit and sweat on a silk sofa. Put
yeah.
some clothes on. His
That's
favorite,
good,
and
though.
another favorite thing was he used to just go around the house just slapping his cock on things and asking me what he thought I was slapping. And I was like, that's the guitar. Just leave the guitar in the fridge alone. Became very well trained.
Yeah, and
To
then you're
knowing
like,
the sound of what he was doing. So I definitely feel like I'm entitled to some
yeah,
compensation.
what about
retros-
picking up the scent? I mean, because was he cut or uncut?
Well, I can't remember.
Because I was going to
should
say,
be
if
able
he
to
was
remember.
uncut, there would have been an aura with that
An
slap.
aura. Either way, I think people either sitting naked on your. It comes down to being naked on your furniture.
Yes, that's where we were.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
that's what you're
I was
encountering.
Like, wow, this story is so random.
I don't know if that's okay. Just put some clothes on and preferably don't have sex on your friend's sofas.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever fucked in some. Have we ever fucked in someone's house?
Not that I can remember.
He has a terrible memory.
Like the way you're just gaslighting him, asking questions and then gaslighting
Yeah.
him.
Bring him in, push him away.
So that's the end of your.
I think that's the end. Yeah, I don't think I would do it. I would just be too like, oh my god, what if they walk in? That's it. Now they take the compensation claim.
I think we should offer it out to the one listener that we have to see,
Which is Kevin.
which is currently Kevin, but maybe one more, to see what terrible house guests that people have had.
Yeah,
Because I'm sure there must be some. I'm sure that there are worse stories than.
I tell you
I
what.
thought that mine's pretty good, but
Yeah, yours is pretty. I would say not good, more horrific.
it did
More
take about 3
psychologically
It was-
triggering
it was,
and
yeah.
an emotional. Like, could you imagine if all of I can't? It's not even imagine. Like all of your things have a
Being
reason.
touched.
They need to be there. Like if I went looking for something and it's gone because
Yeah.
some nutcase like stayed at my house and decided to throw it in the bin,
Yeah.
I'd be like, what the fuck?
It was weird because for weeks after, I find things in really odd places. Like I had a box of presents in my in my walk-in wardrobe, which she put all around the house. So I found a pair of nipple tassels that I'd bought from a friend from Agent Provocateur, just stuffed behind a bookcase. I found a wind chime that I bought from Mum on the top of a boiler cupboard. And it's just been like, for 3 weeks, just finding random things. It's really odd. Like, so it's definitely a manic episode that happened because there isn't any order in it.
You know what I'm thinking in my head?
What?
I wonder if she's a klepto and she's used this as an excuse to klepto some stuff.
I don't
because
think so.
Would you ever know if anything's missing now?
Well, yes and no, but it's a bit like it feels a bit like being burgled because I keep finding things that she's moved around and put some order in. But I think, the aftermath of it was, I wrote this huge list, and she basically came back and told me that my house was unsanitary and unsafe, and that she was trying to change my life, and that I'd reacted unreasonably. So she essentially added insult to injury by basically implying that, I was like Tiny Tim, like needing someone to save me. Well, actually, what I really need is like about 20k in a job. Do you know what I mean? I don't need someone to reorganise my underwear cupboard. Like,
but
so
babe, if you can sort out this claim, you won't need to work for a while.
Oh no, she blocked me anyway, and then and put me through a PA, so we're kind of done, So, but
is the PA understanding or no? The PA's like, well, do you know what, girl? I have like 5 people like you on the phone because she does this every time she stays at someone's
but the
house.
PA she'd only had for a week and a half.
Oh,
so.
it's her cousin.
So no. But I mean, even...
Answer that. Say you're my PA.
What? You're...
Yeah, that's what she's doing.
I know. Maybe...
Never the same PA twice.
No, but at one point I got the fridge freezer removed.
Nice.
I said I just need one at least the size that I had. And then came this weird negotiation where they were like, if you want the fridge freezer that you've chosen, which was like about 150 quid more, she chose me like this budget fridge freezer, then you can pay her an extra £200. And I was like, this isn't a negotiation. Like, if the person would like to bring me my fridge freezer back with all of its contents, then they can have their fridge freezer that they've left in my flat. Yeah. But I'm not negotiating on keeping this one or paying anyone any money. Like, you've thrown out something that belonged to me. But so it's very odd. I mean, the whole thing became this like battle of...
What was the contents? Was it full?
Yeah.
It's full now. I have a Rolex in there. Yeah. Where the fuck is my Rolex gone?
I had a failed compensation claim in the end.
Yeah.
I've managed to get a fridge freezer that was of original size, and then I'm still finding belongings.
It must feel nice though, when you get a new fridge freezer, your delivery guy turns up, in they go, fits beautifully, smells gorgeous, and all you gotta do is fill it up.
I mean, I've never had that.
Does that
fetish. It's like, the thing is, I've never. Is that how you feel when you get delivery of white goods?
I used to deliver white goods.
Did you?
Yeah.
When?
When I was like really young.
Like Coke?
Yeah.
Selection of powders. What do you mean?
So,
yeah, hello, would you like flour or...
No, like you have also delivered fridge freezers, Kevin.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Kevin is very helpful helper.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's nice when a new fridge goes in. I'm guessing your experience was like that. Lead in.
Well, getting a fridge was fine, but getting a cooker this week from AO was not... I think I'm entitled to compensation.
You can't even talk to me about AO. They're a nightmare.
They truly are.
I've had one really good experience with them, and one which was a nightmare beyond nightmares.
What happened?
The good one was great. We put up a flat screen TV. Turns out it was smashed. They came, got it, replaced it, done. I was like, fantastic. Second time, they were delivering like a washing machine or something. And my friend was in. She waited all day. And then they called us like 4 p.m, like 4 hours after it was supposed to be delivered. No, because it was like something till 2 or something. And then they're like, oh, we couldn't do delivery. Now you have to pay for delivery. I was like, I'm not paying for delivery. I thought delivery was free because I'd paid all this money. We came. I was like, no, you didn't.
Where?
Someone's there.
The van?
Yeah. And they were like, we have pictures of your house. So they're taking pictures from my house outside, but it's hard to park. So basically the delivery guy, drives past, takes a picture of my house.
Just to drive by.
Just to drive by, knowing full well he's late, because he was already like 2 hours, like way late for me. He was supposed to be early. So I'm like, okay. And then he's gone off and just kept driving to the next job.
Right.
Then sent AO the picture going, I knocked, no one answered. So they're trying to have a go at me. I went, the girl that's in my house waiting is literally still there. There is no hallway. You tap on the door, she is sat by the door. She's sat on the other side of the door.
She's just sat. I've paid her to sit in my house. I did
pay her. And then, no. So then this went on. Some woman in, like Karen from finance or something, like that woman was literally there arguing with me for, I'd say about 2 weeks. You imagine the amount of money that company has spent, time-wise, arguing with me for 2 weeks when all she had to do was say, no. Actually, you could be right, Karl.
But the point is that we're now in this system where everyone will argue the toss about everything. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just do the right thing, you end up having to turn into Angela Lansbury to get some basic information. It's like...
But then again, I don't know.
Every time, or Columbo, you like, hello. Like,
I don't know if my friend fucked off.
I doubt it.
Like,
I doubt it. I think it's just
maybe
the culture that we're in at the moment is this. I think it would be better if AI was dealing with customer service on some level.
Ooh.
Because humans don't seem to be doing it very well. Anyone that I've been on the phone to 3 Mobile trying to deal with a phone, I must have phoned them like 200 times.
Isn't customer service turning into AI now?
Well,
I think they are.
I think half of it is, but I think the humans are also maybe part. I think that they definitely lost their personality because they're just reading off scripts.
Yes, it was all scripted.
And they always call you mom, which drives me absolutely mental.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. It's kind of an odd world that we're in at this stage of. It's this scripted, like they're always really apologetic, but there's no sincerity in that apology. I'm so sorry for what you've been through. I'm like, well, you're not, are you?
Yeah.
Because if you...
If
you were, you would be doing something rather than making me write really dry emails with photos.
I sent her this situation where she was just answering the same answer, and I was trying to help her explain that she's just saying the same words again.
This is what I mean. It's like riddle me 3.
Yeah, riddle me 2. What's the one in the big fat bun? I don't know.
I've had 3 Mobile. I've had my phone so repeatedly send me the same wrong letter. They've sent me the same letter 7 times, and I've dictated to them what I need on the letter, and they just keep sending the same. It's like I feel like we've got to this point of it's beyond compensation.
It's beyond compensation.
It's like they all need to just be put in the bin, and we start again with a better system.
Yeah, but then who's going to set up that system?
Me and you.
Probably
And
AO.
Me, you and Kevin.
Up for that, babe?
I mean, I think...
I'll get back to you.
Oh.
How are we doing on time? Because I think we may can wrap up.
We're about to wrap up.
Well, yeah, I think it's a good start to today.
It's a really good start, yeah.
But I think we might need to finish before we've spoken about...
We could have like a follow-up.
We need a follow-up.
Like, because I want to know exactly how this story ends.
Which story?
Does it end?
There's no ending.
There's no ending.
Basically, it's just a constant compensation claim forevermore.
You know who we should bring in?
Who?
Next guest for you.
Who?
I'll come as a follow-up. PA.
I don't think we'll ever get the PA.
Let's get the PA on a phone. Let's get someone on the phone pretending to be the PA.
That's better.
Done.
Let's just create our own narrative around it, because I'm sure they're creating their own narrative of how they tried to save me, but I was really ungrateful. That's generally the narrative that I think that's been touted about. That I should have been grateful for the reorganisation that I had to my entire home. Because I was living like Tiny Tim in an unsanitary condition.
In an unsanitary town.
Yeah.
So there we have it.
Well,
as your guest, I'd like to say to any of my followers that if you'd like to come on and be the PA, we need to talk about your podcast before we end, though. Oh yeah, I'm starting a new podcast.
Carl's starting a new podcast with Kevin.
Guess what it's called?
I can't.
Why?
Because I don't hate guessing for things. Just tell me what it's called.
Incorrect. It's called How to Get Fired in 30 Days.
And
How to get fired before lunch.
Right, it's changed. The 2 titles in.
Yeah, I
things
think
like,
I'd started with how to get
how to
fired
give
in
it-
30 days.
And what it's essentially how to get fired in.
Before lunch.
So before lunch.
Start job, fired before lunch.
I mean, I have to say, I have been fired before lunch before.
Me too.
Yeah.
Go.
I have to do you want me to tell you that story
Yes.
before we end? So I was in Australia and I was like forced to get a job. I think I was like 24. Anyway, my cousin, I was staying at my cousin's and
Forced to get a job.
yeah, but she was like, don't you think you should get a job? And I was like, not really.
Yeah.
Anyway, what happened was I got a job in essentially like some kind of smoothie place. And I lasted
Very Australia.
3 hours because they got me basically with this huge like jar of yogurt and like a vat, and I had to pour it into little plastic cups. I mean, by 5 minutes I was covered in yogurt. And yogurt was everywhere, and then they made me do another job. They were like, you're not very good at that, and I was like, nobody can be very good at this. I'm 5'4", and also you give me something that's like nearly 4 foot to move around. And then they tried to make me peel 300 oranges, and I was just like, I've got a first class degree. I'm not doing this.
Do you know what? I think this is a bit of a Freaky Friday.
Why?
I got fired covered in yogurt too.
I guess so. Okay, but for equally as innocent reasons, or was this
Not equally as innocent, no.
how? What?
Well, I think we both know the gig. The gig was Balance,
Balance.
Compton Street.
Yeah. What were you doing with yogurt?
All right, so I just thought, fantastic job, brilliant. I hadn't worked in so long, if ever. I think it could have been first ever job
Right.
out of school time job, or first ever job after doing my long time job. Anyway, I hadn't worked for ages.
Job.
Like,
It was a job.
And I was like, I need a job.
Job number 2.
I need compensation. So I went in and I got started and everything, and I was like, oh, and I thought I was going to be a waiter. I was like, yes, going to be a waiter. And they were like, no, you're going to be a bus boy. And I was like, ooh, you have a bus? And they're like, no, it's bus boy just means you walk around and you pick up all the glasses and clean the tables.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I'll start at the bottom. So I went round, whipped round, got all the glasses in, and then I took it up to there's like a serving hatch. We put it through to the kitchen. So I put it through to the kitchen. And it's this guy there. Who's you? And I'm like,
was
hi.
that an accent?
Yeah, it was like a accent that you're not really supposed to know what he's saying.
Right.
We do. We do.
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay.
What, mysterious
Yeah,
accent.
it's like that.
Right.
So I passed through this like tray of like stuff. He's like, Udu. So I'm like, oh my God. So he's like giving me the
He's,
eye.
like,
And
trying
I'm like,
on with you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Then he takes the washing up, puts it down, puts it in the sink. It's like, shh. And he goes, Udu. Oh yeah. So I'm like, oh my God. So I go over and it's the toilets. So I go into the toilet with him. He's like, pants, take pants down.
What?
So,
Is
yes,
this story?
Yes, this is real. So I pulled my pants down and we start shagging. Afterwards, he comes. I turn around, covered in yogurt. No, there's the covered in yogurt bit. And then I pull my pants back up and he goes to me, because that night his wife was collecting him. You told my wife I killed you. I'm like, wow, how did you learn English so fast? We went from
The story is wild. You're entitled to compensation
Yeah.
for that. That's sexual
Yeah.
harassment in the workplace.
massively, but I don't think it's like when compensation was a thing.
No, but you could get retrospective for that.
Yeah.
Because you got.
And the
covered in
problem is,
And also
I think
it's-
I encouraged it. I was like,
think-
oh,
I think
yeah.
you did encourage.
But then how did I get fired?
But I like the way you innocently went along with what was essentially so.
I'm like this, best job
dude.
ever. Then,
So you got.
Oh.
So how?
the best bit.
Oh God.
So
this is
then,
the best
I'm
bit.
like 5 minutes in. I'm like, I need a cigarette break. This is the
This is
best,
the best
job.
job
Yeah,
ever.
if this is going to
I
happen
picked, like,
every
3
single
glasses
day.
up
Yeah.
and had sex.
And then this guy comes in and he's like, oh, you have to go outside. You have to wash the windows because Balance has got
wow,
those
this is-
floor-to-ceiling windows. I'm like, this is amazing. So I'm outside, like, washing the windows, like, smoking. I'm thinking, that's brilliant. This is the best job ever. And then behind is Compton's. I'm in Compton's
Yeah,
pub.
yeah.
And I hear, Karl. I'm like, who the fuck's that? started washing the window. I'm like, oh shit, someone's gonna see me washing windows. Bit tragic. So I turn around. There's Chris and a few other people. They're like, what are you doing? I said, I've got a job. They're like, what? And I'm like doing my job. And then they gave me a lunch break. So I went over, like in 2 seconds, I went over, started drinking. And
This is brilliant.
That's it.
Like, you're
That's
hireable.
all
You're
I
so-
remember was drinking
and
drinking.
covered in
I
jizz.
was covered in jizz. Woke up the next day, telling them all my story about being shagged in the kitchen.
This is the best
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
I wish we'd even led with this, Karl, because you've saved the best till last. Why have you been talking about my house being rearranged when you've essentially caused absolute havoc in Soho?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's so many elements to this story that I want to go further in. As to
I
what...
woke up the next morning thinking, oh, I wonder what time my shift is today. First thing, I woke up next afternoon.
Oh,
It wasn't
that was
even
a great job I
Yeah.
did. Yes, I did really good job. I did like 1 hour's
I was
work.
thinking, how did I get home? What did I do? I couldn't remember anything about the day before whatsoever, except like just like blurry. So I got in. So I phoned up. I don't know if I phoned. Yeah, I phoned, and I phoned up the HR office, the woman that had like got me on. I was like, "Hi, it's Karl," and they're like, "She's like, oh hi," and she's like, "Are you?" She goes, "Are you popping in today?"
Popping in for
And
some
I was
fun.
like, I've kept my job. I can't believe I've kept my job.
Absolutely.
I went, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to pop in. What time should I pop in? She went, oh, anytime. I'll be here. Just pick up your P45. And I thought to myself,
What's that?
what's that? Initially, like, I'm on my way there and I'm like, P45, because you don't have mobiles back then. And I was like, I wonder if P45 is like... Is it a syphilis? Have I picked up P45?
Or a PlayStation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got an STD claim. Oh my god. So you went in and they were like...
Yeah. It's good that I've told you this on your podcast because I can't do it on my podcast.
Why?
My podcast is business.
Well, that... Okay.
Well, it's about workplace. It's about workplace issues, workplace problems.
And you being the whole issue in the
I
workplace.
don't think anyone's going to be able to beat my story,
No, that
yeah,
is
but I'm
really
going to
good.
give them a chance.
I mean, okay, so I feel like you were entitled to some... I mean, I think part of this podcast is like whether we decide people are allowed it or not. I mean, bearing in mind that we have no sway and can't do anything about it either way.
Yeah.
I feel like...
But don't we have a pot of money?
Not yet, but
Not
we're
yet.
working on
That would
that.
be so
Well,
good.
Monopoly money at the moment.
Yeah. Do they get their compensation at the
We
end?
could get it in Monopoly money. Yeah, they can get it.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, gifts.
Oh, also gifts.
Yeah, anything that's basically still in the bins at the back of your house.
Yeah. I'll go down to the bin
Yeah.
and find some stuff.
Done.
Yeah.
Come in for your compensation.
Yeah. So,
Got it. I'm in for it. Yeah.
yeah.
Do I win?
I mean, I feel like you did win, but then you counterbalanced it so that it's now equal because you probably cost them money as well.
Yeah.
At the same time. Do you know what I mean?
Should we
So
go
I
to
feel
balance
like
with
it's-
their prize?
I feel like it's even.
Yeah.
Like they were probably entitled. They were like fooled into the fact that you were actually going to do a job, and you did get
No, because I think,
you did get sexual harassment in the workplace.
and also I found out a couple of years later, you know, Hopton, what friends of mine, not naming any names, Hopton.
Yeah, there's no name and shame apart from like, just shamed one person.
Yeah, you could.
Sorry.
All the staff was shagging people. Most of them were shagging their clients in Balance. Yeah, people that just came in for a dinner ended up downstairs being shagged.
I mean, that is a special form of happy ending. Isn't
Yeah.
it? I wonder if that was an
I wonder
extra
if it
service
was on the
charge.
specials.
Yeah, desserts.
Dessert.
Come down to the basement.
How would you like your yogurt?
God. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on that bombshell.
On that bombshell.
We're going to end today's.
And pop
but
down
pe-
to Balance.
but
You
peel-
buy something to eat.
Yeah. Sponsored by Balance.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so horny. Let's go to
Today.
Balance. Balance the sauna.
Sorry, Balance. But
Yeah.
also, I apologise to Balance for Karl.
Yeah. I mean, like, to balance. Like, I'm not saying anything about your brand or anything. I'm just saying
Everyone was having sex in your basement.
everyone was fucking in your toilets.
I mean, circa 2000.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've cleaned up their act.
Circa or uncirca?
We can't just start slandering people
Yeah.
on the first. We can't get cancelled immediately.
Yeah. Let's do it.
However, if you have got any stories, not necessarily about balance, but about anything else, please write into you may be entitled at gmail.com.
Yeah, I think that's good.
And yeah, this may or may not happen again soon.
You may or may not be entitled to
You
compensation.
may or may not hear from me again either,
Yeah.
which may be great. You may be glad about, but that's thank you for today.
Thanks for having me on.
I mean, you're going to be on again.
How on earth are you going to, like, get better than this?
I think it's possible. Goodbye.
Bye.